Hey there, Facebook friends. Brian Moses here, founder of Real Estate Training Breakthrough, customized coaching and seminars. And I had a lot of topics that I wanted to share with you, so I've written them down and we'll be doing a ton of broadcasts in the days and the weeks to come. I want to reach more people. I want to make a greater impact in the lives of real estate professionals. I made lots of mistakes in the early years trying to figure it out. It wasn't for lack of effort. I worked really hard, 7 days a week, nights, weekends, and holidays. Maybe you can relate. And I wanted to share with you a couple of real life scenarios. The reason I'm able to do this broadcast with you right now is frankly because I had a client reschedule their call. I actually had 3 today. One-on-one members who pay me a lot of money for these calls, and at the last minute, for reasons that, came up in their world, had them prioritize, geez, do I do this call or do I take care of this issue? And no judgment here, but there's an opportunity for all of us to learn. Focus breeds clarity and clarity breeds focus, right? So if you have goals, there are things that you do that bring you closer to your goals. I remember, a few years back when I was being coached by Anthony Robbins, the guy's got really high standards. I'll also tell you this, that the quality of your life is in direct proportion to your standards. Said differently, your standards are dictated by what's acceptable and what's unacceptable in your life. I doubt anybody watching this has the life that they truly dream of. I mean, I'm very blessed. I am grateful for all that I have, all the blessings in my life, but I want more. I'm pursuing more. I want to be wealthier. I want to have, the best vacations that money can buy. I need to have a business so that I can take those times off. I have massive, ambitious goals. There's experiences that I want to do personally with my family, with other people. So to do that, we need to make money, right? And here's where I'm going with this. How are you managing your schedule? And I started to allude, and I got sidetracked. When I worked with Tony Robbins, and when I was coached by him, I remember seeing a copy of his schedule. It's over here somewhere. I should have been a little bit more prepared, but those are all my notes from all the seminars that I've ever done, ever been to, all the notes, all the great distinctions that I've invested in over the years. And I remember seeing every minute of the day was scheduled, like 19 hours out of the day scheduled in 10 and 15 minute increments. He's very precise. Now, I remember distinctly saying, I don't want that life. But I can tell you that every day of my life is scheduled. I schedule health and fitness. I schedule personal time for me. I schedule family time for my wife, for my kids, and I schedule work. I work Monday through Friday. I don't know what days you work. I don't know what your hours are. But if you're going to take anything away from this live broadcast, create a schedule. Be proactive. Don't be reactive. And in the case, I'll give you some examples. So I've had coaching calls scheduled and hey, man, things happen, right? My dog got sick, threw up on the carpet. I can't make the call. Or I have to take my daughter to school. So I said, what about your husband? My husband's working. Well, what are you doing? It's Tuesday. You're not working, right? So we don't have a plan. Because we're self-employed, we want to be self-employed. We want our cake and we want to eat it too. We want to have the freedom of being self-employed, but we don't want to have the discipline of having to say no and go, we've got to figure something out. My kids I have 2 kids, one's 16, one's 12. They're going to be off school in another month and a half, right? So June, July, August, no school. They're in my house all day long. I have office hours. I'm in my office and I'm working. And I'm working on marketing on a certain day and a certain time, and it's an appointment. I'm returning calls, like converting sales at a certain day and time. Maybe that's appropriate in your business. What are your hours? What are your schedule? Stick to your schedule. If you have goals and you create a schedule that brings you closer to your goals, Being reactionary, letting external factors, and folks, they happen, they show up. Say, hey, I can't do it. We don't just cancel the call, we reschedule the call. So that's my tip for you. One of the greatest things that I did in my career to accelerate my results, like to literally take off, was to manage my schedule. Here's an exercise you can all do. How much money do you want to make in the next 12 months? So pick a number, dream big. Hey, Donnie, great to see you, Ben. How much money do you want to make in the next 12 months? Divide it by the number of hours you work. So let's say that you work 50 weeks a year, you take 2 weeks off, 40 hours a week. That would be great. Most of you work way more than that, but that would be 2,000 hours. So you take your income goal divided by your hours, and that'll tell you what you're worth per hour. If you want to give yourself an instant pay raise in this industry, you just need to be more productive. It's not about working more hours. It's about what you're doing. I'll tell you another story. So I went to reschedule one of my calls with a client, and I said, how's next Tuesday? And they go, I can't do Tuesdays. Why can't you do Tuesdays? We do caravan, we do home tours on Tuesdays. I said, home tours? You in the market to buy a house? No, we like to familiarize ourselves with the inventory. I said, for what? A, you'll never familiarize yourself with all the inventory. So if you're working with a buyer, the likelihood that you've previewed the property is slim to none. You don't need to familiarize yourself with the inventory. It's not dollar productive. So if you look at your calendar in a block, and these are your store hours, you work from 8 to 5, these many days of the week, the more productive you are in that block of time, the more money you're going to make. So we want to be intentional, and this is what superstars do. They take dollar productive activities and plug them into their schedule. I had a call with somebody the other day, and I said, what day of the week do you do buyer appointments? What do you mean? Whenever a buyer shows up. I would do buyer appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 30 minutes apart. So starting at 3, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Same thing on Thursday. Buyer wants to meet with me. Hey, can you do Tuesday or Thursday? No, I can only do Wednesday. Geez, I'm booked on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday's the only day I could do it. All right, let me see if I can move some things around. And I take one of my blocks on Tuesday and I move it to Wednesday. So flexibility is the key to success, but I want you to be more intentional, more deliberate, more purposeful. Hey, everybody's got shit that shows up in their life. It's called life, right? Obstacles, curveballs, setbacks. You know, you got to pick your kid up from school. Okay, well, if all the things that I was supposed to do now don't get done because I had to pick up my kid from school, let's not delete them. Let's move them over in the calendar so that we get them done. So, folks, I hope that was helpful. We're going to do a bunch of broadcasts on little distinctions of things that you can do to be more productive. But the big takeaway today is be intentional, be purposeful. I don't know if I can share my screen here. What I'll do is once this broadcast posts, I'll do a screenshot of a client that I worked with that created a perfect week. And they've accounted for everything that needs to happen in the course of the week. Prospecting, marketing, working on their business, skill development, training. They're a team leader, so they have to dedicate some hours towards recruiting. It's all in their calendar. And do you know what? It probably only adds up to about 15 or 18 hours of productive work. So there's still plenty of time to get all the other unproductive shit done that you need to get done. So that's it for now. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying these broadcasts, check out brianmosescall.com, where you can schedule a free coaching call with one of our success mentors and success coaches. All of our coaches are in over $1 million a year selling real estate. They're very, very successful. They've been immersed in my psychology, in my training, in my systems and processes. They have access to all our scripts. Everything that I use to sell 400 homes a year, they have access to. They're killing it. They're murdering it. They're doing a great job. So, hey, Glenn, great to see you. I left you a message the other day, by the way. So great to see you guys. Donnie, Glenn, you guys have a great week. be more intentional, be more purposeful. Have a great week, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.